Well, hey there, good people. I'm back. Yep, it's me. Um, the screen's right. Nobody here. Don't have audio. I got audio. Okay, that's good. Light up. Smoke them if you got. Stand in the light. Cast your shadow. You might just be surprised at the size of your shadow. I think the 20 some people who watch my videos you comprehend what I'm saying. It's a shame the message doesn't get to more, because it's the right information. You all need, for some of you, to engage. Now, if you check out the touring Kalkaska videos, I think there's 4 of them. They're very short. You get to see the size of the village of Kalkaska. A teeny population of just over 2,000, 8 cannabis shops, 3 head shops, and a cannabis lounge. Kalkaska, known as the cannabis capital of Michigan. And not one dentist will recommend oral health with cannabis to the British organized and British run American Dental Association. They won't do it. Nor will any bar card carrying British agent, human trafficker. No, they won't either. So, this should tell you a lot. You understand the maritime gold fringe flag and those fraudulent enslavement non-courts, human trafficking. They've brainwashed you, they've manipulated you, so has everyone else. All right, all these people underneath the sheriff, all these people underneath the prosecutor, all these people underneath the village idiot, the chief of police, and the village manager, all these people underneath the postmaster. They're as dumbed down and fear-based as any of us have been. So, too many of you have been beating your head against the wall with the likes of the sheriff or the prosecutor or a judge or a congressman or a postmaster or somebody that has a supposed high level of power or authority. But these motherfuckers are so corrupt, they're going to do nothing except continue to be corrupt and use the fear tactics and the stupidity of all those collecting paychecks in their respective departments. So this is why I call the village idiot, the chief of police, Poopy Pants Popaw. Because when I was there to report the corruption in the village of Kalkaska, old Poopy Pants had to interrupt that. He could not have his dumbed down road pirates having this knowledge. Because when I spent 2.5 hours with the jail sergeant from the Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department as prosecutor, well, within less than a month, the prosecutor, the Kalkaska County prosecutor who prosecuted me in the middle of his third term, resigned. A couple of months later, the Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department had no jail staff. They had a mass exodus. That was back in 2021. Don't think these people here don't know who I am. And they know that you are waking up. So now they're living in fear. Now let's shake it up. All right, so we've got these dentists here in Kalkaska. They're in a hell of a spot, aren't they? They are. Now, I could serve the command letter on them. I could do registered mail, send a command letter. I created that months ago. What's that going to do? It ain't going to do much. I could hold court. I could send them registered mail. And what's that going to do? It ain't going to do much. This is what we know. So what we want is we want to do much. How do we get that done? I'm going to explain it to you. It means a few of you got to get involved. So there's several separate projects of business to deal with in Kalkaska. Several items with the Kalkaska post office. And then with the dentist. And the rest of it is all in motion, right? I mean, the sheriff, the chief, the police department, the prosecutor, the courts, all that. It's all in process. So in the description of this video is a link to an article that was written by Anna von Ritz. I am not a follower or a fan of Anna. A chief has said he's met Anna and told her she's not a judge. That's over a year old. Chief explains the babble of American national and state national. And those of you that want to still say you're a state national or an American national, I'm going to suggest to you that you spend a little bit of time educating yourself and listen to the chief. All right. So now I'm not a fan of Anna, and I don't follow her. However, this article, Thursday, August 31st, 2023, the effort to end fraudulent misrepresentation. This is a good article. So I'm going to read part of it. It would be a mistake to think that my efforts over the past 40 years have been without support or without effect, despite the continuing widespread confusion and too often abuses that continue in various places. Yeah, Anna, you're not getting traction. We know. Although you've got a lot of people duped in. All right, this goes on. The Universal Postal Union and the United States government have been listening and tightening up their operations to prevent mail fraud by foreign incorporated tribunals operating as municipal courts and by various agencies such as the IRS, which habitually misaddress Americans as municipal franchises using the U.S. mail. The U.S. government has recently upped the ante for mail fraud. 18 U.S.C. 1341 and for misuse of fictitious names. 18 U.S.C. 1342. The potential fine per occurrence has increased from 250,000 to 1 million, and jail time possible has increased from a maximum of 10 years to a maximum of 30 years. This increase by 4 times in the amount of fines and 3 times in the amount of potential jail time should be sufficient to convince those who have been using dog Latin to mischaracterize and entrap average Americans to cease and desist. Not unless we educate them, people. We got to educate them. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more here. To quickly summarize, when a clueless American receives a tax bill or a court summons delivered by the Postal Service and which is addressed to their name appearing as all capital letters, and that American is not knowingly and in fact operating a commercial corporation in their name, a mail fraud has occurred, as well as a crime of misuse of fictitious names to entrap. All right, there's more in that article. There's some things that you shouldn't get your panties in a wad over. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody's got everything correct or corrected. There's some things that could be said, and if my head wasn't spinning with so much other stuff, I'd focus in and zero in on this, and maybe it's something I'll come back to days later or weeks later. I don't know. It depends on the importance level. The point is, that little girl at the Kalkaska post office, that sweet little young girl, is being forced to follow unlawful orders. And I want to save her life. I want to educate her. And there's a lot of other good people that are just, what they want is a paycheck. But being criminals, and getting paid for it, and no accountability. No, 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 no. That's over. That's done. So dealing with the dentist, I think the way to be effective is that service is done by process servers, that it is audio and video recorded, and that there is a statement that's made or statements that are made. Part of the statement can be in the uniform, the white shirts that say martial law, executive order 13818. Words that come out of the process server's mouth, possibly ordered by the court. I am developing thought processes. Now, what we need is cameras and eyes and numbers. That's what we need. We need the muscle. We need those that are willing to die on the spot, that know when to shoot a cop. If you don't know when to shoot a cop, Cop Block put out a fantastic video, a YouTube video for 10 years. In the description of this video, you should find a link to when should you shoot a cop. If you don't know when to shoot a cop, I encourage you to watch that video. Have the men. We'll have the men that are willing to die on the spot for you. Men that are willing to take the life of the oppressors without hesitation. So now we need numbers. There's power in numbers. And we need talkers. We need you to stand up and talk. It's not that hard. And when you have others helping you, it gets easier. It's time, it's past time to get back into Kalkaska organized. I've done a lot of organizing over the years, but I've never taken claim to be an organizer. Now I'm organizer. I am organizing. I've been reaching out to some of you people. You know who you are. If just half of you show up here, we can rock this. Why don't you all show up? All those military flyovers. Think about all those military flyovers. I didn't misrepresent anything. That takes a special order. That's money. That's manpower. That's resource. You think they're going to waste that? That was recognition. That was not to intimidate me. That was not to threaten me. I know some of you people were thinking that, but no, no way. They wouldn't do that. Not that way. No. They just come pick me up. So that's the beauty of martial law. When it's time, the baddies just get picked up and off to their tribunal. So let's help the military. Let's help ourselves. Let's help God. Let's help you. We'll be setting a date here in Kalkaska. Also, I'm going to be contacting Humana Health Insurance. Why these health insurance companies, their claims reduction department don't get on board with oral health with cannabis. I mean, they could reduce their claims, but I'm thinking 80% over the course of time, maybe even 90%. But, they have British agents. They have bar card carrying British agents advising them on their business. And of course, the British agents, whether they're bar agents or they're American Dental Association agents or they're American Medical Association agents, they're all demonic fucks that are just out to destroy you, to enslave you, to torture you, to see you in pain and misery and death. So why don't you wake the fuck up and stand up and cast your shadow? You can do it. All right, everybody. I'll be back. I love you. Own your authority.